What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another ANR video slash podcast and live, I guess, as well. We're doing everything nowadays. Welcome to episode 55. I'm your host, Elvin. Got a great show today. Lots of crazy topics to talk about. But today, we're running Batman and Robin type of style today. I've got my buddy Chris with me. Chris, where are you? Get in here. There he is. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Yeah, we're a little it's happy Valentine's Day, by the way, first of all.
Yeah, I had my date cook me dinner. His name's Mike Rowave.
Mike Rofave, huh?
Oh
Sounds like
God,
a
yeah. He makes a wicked mac and cheese from Frozen.
sounds steamy.
Oh God, it was pretty cheesy.
Yeah. Well, Justin is a little busy today. He's going to be doing some work behind the scenes, but he'll produce the show and edit it for our podcast people to listen to. But if you are listening, head on over to our channel, a YouTube channel, and watch us 8:30 Pacific time on YouTube. You get to see our lovely faces and maybe engage with us and ask some questions. We'd love to answer questions from anybody that wants to shout a few questions, and maybe Chris will be delighted to answer some Valentine's Day questions about Mike. Right, Mike?
Yes.
All right. We had a
I love talking about myself.
we had a busy week. We had a lot. There was a
Oh,
lot of stuff going on, and yesterday during Super Bowl was insane. There were some trailers dropped, and it was insane. But before we get into our juicy topics, let's get into what we watched and what we got. So take it away.
oh, it's so weird not having D here.
Yeah. By the way, D is also missing, and we're not going to make fun of him because today's Valentine's Day. We're going to be nice today. We'll make
Yeah,
fun.
I guess he thought he'd do something good for
Yeah.
his better half.
Yeah,
Makes
he's
up for all the toys that he purchases.
he works hard. He's a good guy.
Oh,
We
yeah,
like him.
he
We
does.
like.
All right, so for what I've watched, it was pretty slim. It was crazy busy week for some odd reason for February, but I did watch one of my favorites, Showgirls. Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's
How
Elizabeth
old is that
Berkley.
show? How old is that?
Oh, that's from 1995.
Wow, that is old.
Yeah. It's Versace.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Obviously, I've watched Peacemaker, which I can't wait to talk about. What else did I watch? I don't even remember. The week's been so crazy. I don't even remember what I did yesterday.
Yeah.
For what I got, again, this week, pretty dry, that fun February month where we're all trying to play catch up. But I have started working on my new custom. I just cut his little dress apart to expose the legs. I still got more hand cutting to do, but this is going to be the Deken. And you guys keep an eye out.
For those of you who are listening and don't know what Chris is talking about, he is going to be doing a customized video for us on our YouTube channel. He's actually holding up. What are you holding up? That is the Eternals figure, right?
Yeah.
Eternals figure, and you're going to customize that to be Deken from the X-Men animation.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Saga.
Oh, it's going to look so good. I can't wait.
It's funny. I was about to mention that, but you just happened to jump right in. So yeah, stay tuned. I'm planning on going into the studio to film that. I'm going to be talking about sculpting, doing face painting, highlighting and shadow, because his features are very structured. So I'm actually going to show how to do that. And I'm actually going to be using makeup. So I'll explain to everyone what I'm actually doing. So stay tuned. And I look forward to it.
It's going to be fun. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. All right. Anything else?
No, I just feel like we're the two guys from Delicious Dish from the
I've
SNL
never,
skit.
I've never watched it.
Oh, really good.
Yeah.
So they're very serious. They host this radio talk show, and they're very stone faced, and they're like, "Good times, good times. I'm going to be customizing fun times." Because there's
Yeah,
only two of us today. Yeah.
I'm usually out on Saturday nights. So I don't really get to watch it, so I should catch up on YouTube. Maybe watch some of the skits.
Oh God, yeah.
Um, all right. What did I watch and what did I get? Boy, there was a lot to unpack here. Okay, I'll start off with the Amazon TV show called Reacher. It's based on the Jack Reacher books. We had a
Mhm.
Tom Cruise movie a while back, but everyone was like, "Why is a 5'5" guy Jack Reacher? He's supposed to be like big and empowering." So we've got the guy from in the Titans TV show. He was Hawk. Remember him? The
Hawk.
Titan. Yeah, he was Hawk. Remember
Oh
the
yes,
actor?
yes.
Yeah, so he
Yeah.
plays Reacher. I forgot the gentleman's name, but he was also in Smallville as Aquaman back in Smallville days as well. But
Right.
yeah, he plays Reacher, and I binged the whole thing in one weekend. It was so good. It was
How many
fun.
episodes?
I think it was 8. It wasn't like well written TV show. It was just a fun, humorous, action fact kind of show. So you can't take it seriously. You just got to have fun with it and just watch it for its entertainment value. But if you're looking for riveting and great dialogue and great storyline, probably not going to get it from this TV show. There are some things I'm just like, that's just weird, and I'm like, whatever. I am having a good time watching this show. No big deal, right? I watched Vox Machina again. They're releasing 3 episodes every week. It's odd. It's really
That's
really odd.
weird.
Yeah, we're
Is
at
it because
episode.
they're shorter
Yeah,
episodes?
they're about 30, less than 30 minutes, maybe 25 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, it's they're 9 episodes in, 3 weeks in. So hey, I'm not complaining. Give me an hour of content, no problem. I'll take it.
See,
Watch
that's
sorry.
sorry, that's my problem is, we get these good shows and I don't want to, as much as I want to binge watch them, I don't want to. Like tonight, I finally watched episode 7 of Peacemaker because I don't want it to end. It's so annoying, but sorry, back to you.
I watched the finale of Boba Fett. Me and Justin, we actually did the video on it too. So, for anybody, video and podcast, for anybody that's interested in listening to us to clown around about Boba Fett, go ahead and check it out. We had a good time talking about it. We gave our final score on it too. Very interesting TV show. If anybody hasn't watched it, and if you love sci-fi, you love Star Wars, go check it out. I mean, if you like Star Wars, I shouldn't even have to tell you this, right? So, but it was a good watch. There were some episodes that were kind of just dragged on, but overall, it was not bad. It was more than entertaining.
Hmm.
And then I watched obviously Peacemaker. You know, the last episode 7. Yeah, is it episode 7?
Yeah,
Yeah,
second to last.
man,
Uh,
it's getting crazy out there.
oh,
It's getting crazy, and we're gonna get it right into it. Like we're gonna talk about that'll be our first topic. We'll get into right away.
okay.
Um, Before we begin, so we aren't going to do rapid take because there's only 2 of us here. It's more fun when you have multiple people. We'll do it next week when the other 2 gents show up. In terms of what I got, well, I got Marvel Legends Baron Zemo.
Oh,
Got
you got
him.
him.
Yeah, I got Baron Zemo, and then I'll kind of switch it up here. I got Shawn Michaels from WrestleMania when he had this outfit on.
Sweet.
I'm just a sexy boy.
Look at that mullet. I attained to that style.
And then I
I
got
got more to go.
Hulk Hogan.
Okay, sorry. For a second, he looked like he was dressed up as a hot dog.
Yeah, right.
'Cause all
Mustard
you
and
see-
ketchup in the middle.
Yeah. Is that the boa around his
Yeah,
neck?
yeah. That's the boy.
Sweet.
Transformers. I've got Perceptor. I really wanted this guy. He was one of the underrated Transformers. Apparently, he's like really popular. A lot of people want this guy, so I got him. Perceptor.
Nice.
I got. This is a figure that came out a while back, but I decided to pull the trigger. It's John Cena wearing the NWO shirt. It's it's like a what if thing. What if he was part of the NWO? He never was, but they just made this fun figure, and I just like, you know what, I'll get him
What's he
because
look like?
he looks like
Is it
Peacemaker.
collectible? Well, is it collectible friendly packaging?
No,
You
it's
can.
not. It's not. No,
Oh,
if you open the box, you ruin the packaging. It opens up in the middle here, but yeah, I mean, not too bad.
cool.
Tradition bites NWO for life. And then I got the cool stuff: Marvel Legends, Captain America, the Toy Biz retro packaging. Got that. I'm definitely going to talk about. We're going to do a video on him for sure.
How many
And then
did you
I
get of him?
just one for now, and then
What?
I got Iron Man as well from the same series. So
Awesome.
I'm waiting for Hulk to show up. These guys actually have a really special place in my heart because they started off the Toy Biz Marvel Legends era. This was the
Hmm.
very first ways, and I remember going to the store and picking them up for the first time.
I remember they were $6.99.
Oh yeah, I know.
Uh,
It's crazy. I remember going to the store, and the store owner, the comic book store owner, is like, "You should check out this Marvel figures. They're called Marvel Legends." And I'm like, "Huh, pretty catchy name. I'll give it a check." And I just bought the whole set. I even had the Iron Man gold variant. It was gold and red instead of yellow and red.
oh yeah,
Because Toy Biz did that. They every series they had at least one or two variants that you had to look
which
around for.
was also annoying.
Yeah, yeah, it was. But some of them were like stupid, and you're like, I don't care about that one, right? Like it was like different head sculpt or something like that. I remember chasing down Angel, not Archangel, but Angel. There
Yeah,
was a red suit variant and a blue suit variant, and I had both of them, so I was quite happy with that. Yeah, some of them were like, you really want them, and some of them you're like, whatever.
I
Uh,
remember the hunting down of the Scarlet Witch one. But when you go back to look at that now, that's when the Legends series from Toy Biz really started, you know, hitting rock bottom.
I also have Ben Riley, the retro card of Spider-Man, Ben Riley, right? And then I
Sweet.
and then I got right here as well. Shocker, got him. I almost have the whole thing. I just need, I think, Goblin. That's all I need, and I think I have the whole set pretty much.
Gotta
And
catch
then
them
I
all.
and then I got this guy. I bought three of him. Symbiote Spider-Man.
Nice.
Had to get him. So
How's the
cool.
white paint job?
Uh, some of it's all over the place.
Oh,
So this one I'll just give to my son. It's all over the place. I'll keep the nice one for myself. I'm kidding,
obviously.
internet. You're so mean.
No, because they don't care about the paint work like we
They're
do
just gonna
as
bang it.
collectors. Yeah, exactly. So, beat them to the punch. It's already beaten up.
uh, yeah, so that's all I got for the collectibles. It was a good haul. It was a pretty good haul
Yeah.
for me. All right, I do want to say a little bit of we lost a legend in the pop culture world over the weekend. Ivan Reitman passed away. The gentleman
Mm,
who directed Ghostbusters, Animal House, 6 Days, 7 Nights, and then Old School. Like those are just some of the shows, movies that he created. But he was a legend, and we're gonna miss creative geniuses like that in the pop culture world. You know, Ghostbusters. I mean, like just such a massive franchise, and I'm quite happy that he got to at least see his son's Ghostbuster movie before he passed away, because the movie just released what in the just 6 months ago, I think it was
yeah.
something like that. So it's nice to see that he got to watch his son carry the legacy, right?
Hmm.
And I think his son did a decent job. It could have been better, but you know what? Compared to the other Ghostbusters remake that we had, this was miles better. Miles better. It wasn't even close, right? So, you know,
it's
Uh,
definitely one of those franchises that, we talked about this last week that Hollywood didn't milk. We've had a updated version where we had a whole new female cast. It was funny. It was a bit longer than it could have been, but this kind of brought you back from that and brought
I
you right back to the original.
I just thought the all female cast, nothing to do with the female cast at all. I just thought the writing was just junk. It was just complete junk for me, in my opinion. Like I thought it could have been way better, and I don't know if you need to do all female. I would have loved to see a mixture of male and female, two would have been nice.
Mhm.
The fact that they neglected some of the historical of part 1 and 2, like when we got with the recent one, they continued the story from 1 and 2. This last one that we got, they
Oh,
didn't
wow.
forget. They didn't forget what happened in the past, right? And the ending was great. There's a lot of people that cried in the ending too. So for me, I thought the fourth one was just so much better. The one with the all female cast. There's a reason why it's not there anymore. Nobody cares about it anymore. It's one of those things that people are gonna forget about, and not talk about it ever again. Yeah, but good old Canadian boy. He was born in Czechoslovakia and he moved over to Canada, and he calls Toronto his home. And yeah, we're gonna miss him. So rest in peace. And I hope his son continues his legacy and the imagination that he had. So yeah, condolences to the family. Okay, let's get into Peacemaker episode 7. Man,
Ooh.
oof. So the title is "Stop Dragging My Heart Around."
These titles,
Oh, they're so good, right? They're so good.
so smart. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, yeah.
Stop dragging my heart around. All right, so opening. And if anybody hasn't watched it, we're gonna spoil it for you. So make sure to go watch it, and then come back and listen to our opinions on it. We'll try to talk about as many points in the show, but we're not going to cover every little detail.
Mhm.
We'll try our best here, but uh, yeah, I mean, episode 7, Peacemaker. It show starts right away with the brother, and the whole time we've been getting this little tidbits about his backstory when he was a kid, right? And then we saw, his brother, having convulsions on the in a pit, and we were wondering what was that all about. We had an idea what it was all about, but the beginning of this episode, it explained what really happened and put some clarity into why he's going through some of this traumatic stress, right now. And
Mhm.
basically, it was him and his brother jamming away in their bedrooms, and then they were called out to fight because the dad was betting, using them as a sort of like a betting tournament and trying to make money off it. And so when they're fighting, Peacemaker landed a blow to the side of his brother's head, and it got him in a part where his brother was convulsed and passed away. And then the dad immediately blames his other son, saying, "You killed him. It was your fault." Man, that's
Oh,
damn. That is tough.
I was
That
so
is
pissed
tough.
with this scene. I'm like, I knew I hated the dad, but now I know there's a reason for that. And when we finally got to see that and the reason why, it gives us a backstory that he was raised to be who he was. And
Yeah.
deep down inside, you could even see that throughout the episode without spoiling anything going forward, is that's why we can see that there's a kinder side of him.
Yeah.
He's conflicted, and this whole scene explains that whole
Yeah.
you know
I just I was, heartbroken a little bit because I was like, this is such a tough thing for a kid, like your friend, your best friend is your brother, and you had great memories, and you can see where um, his mind stopped. It stopped at that age. That's why he's into those kind of music. He's into that era. He doesn't want to really develop past that era
Mm-hmm.
because he's been traumatized so badly. He just wants to stay in that happy moment where him and his brother were together and all having a good time, right?
Yeah.
And you kind of really start feeling for this guy, who he is, why he was such a douchebag, because his dad was manipulating him. His dad was telling him, hey, you're a piece of junk, and if you don't do these things, you're always going to be a piece of garbage. And yeah, it's just such a what a shitty dad, to be honest with you. Really shitty
Seriously.
dad. So after that
Look,
scene,
he's doing the worm. That was terrible. Oh.
so after that scene, we immediately get to the where their headquarters is, and Peacemaker's packing up his stuff and getting out of there, because from the last episode, it was Peacemaker was basically called out by the sheriff's office, and then they had the diary in their hand, and were basically calling all cops and everybody else to go and get this guy. So he's a vigilante that they need to arrest because the diary, which was fake, says all kinds of crazy stuff. He's a supremacist, all that nonsense, right? Basically, what his father is what they're saying he is now, right? But that's not true. It's a fake diary.
And the
And
alien stuff.
yeah, and then so Peacemaker is basically him and Vigilante are going to go and kill his father, or look for his father. Oh no, they were basically going to go and kill, I think, these guys at the office, all the flies or butterflies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And and they asked Economist if he wants to come, and he's like, no. He's like, no, I don't want to go. And then
Damn it.
oh, fuck it, I'll go, right? We find out that his dad is super smart in a twisted villainous way, but his dad put a tracker on every one of his helmets,
Ugh.
so he knows where he is, and Peacemaker has no idea, right? So
I, yeah, we'll get to that part.
dad puts a tracker on Harcourt and Latoya, aka at a at a bio.
Leota.
Leo, they have a heart to heart. She finds out that she's Amanda Waller's daughter. She's
Mm-hmm.
pissed. She also is pissed at her because she's like, "You sold out one of our teammates. You planted this diary. How could you do that? He was one of us." And she was genuinely pissed. And then Mern comes in. Mern's like, "Hey, we don't got time for this shit." And by the way, I know she's Amanda Waller's daughter. Or what do you think? I don't do background checks, which is
Yeah.
crazy, right? Like, why did you not tell the team? Like, I just
Uh,
find that weird. Like, why did you not tell the team?
it's so many different. That's the great thing about this show is there's so many twists and turns that you're not expecting them to know. And why didn't they say anything?
But he should have told, like, the team, right? Like, he should have at least tell them, hey, like, even not in front of her, but could at least told her court that, hey, she's Amanda Waller's daughter, so let's play
Well,
this close to the vest.
I think the reason why he didn't do that from a, running this mission standpoint, when you introduce information like that, it kind of detours everyone's focus from what they're trying to do because,
Yeah,
now that they are after this cow, that's one of the main focuses now. And when you include this in there, everyone's going to shift their focus and be, well, why is Waller doing this?
yeah.
So I see it from a managerial standpoint, why he didn't say anything, but obviously he didn't say anything because he didn't really think it was going to be a huge threat.
Yeah. I too asked you guys going to Fan Expo, and we were kind of talked about this when we started the show. No, unfortunately, we're not going to go this year. We are planning maybe next year to go to the show. We just got a lot of things going on with our, moving to a bigger space and everything, our studio and things. So we got a lot going on, but we will definitely try to make it out next year. And also, we kind of want to stay a little bit cautious because of COVID, and not really venture out just yet. We're all dying to get out of here and go to these convention stuff, but just gonna wait just a little bit longer, and then we'll start making some plans to get out there in the world and look at some cool conventions, meet some awesome
Yeah.
people, right? Yeah, getting back to the show. The show. How about the scene? This is so weird. Like Judo Master's still around. Like, what?
So, and I was looking forward for you to bringing this up because, or I would have brought it up. It's so random. Obviously, he's gonna have a bigger part in the next episode, but
I think
like,
he. I think he comes and joins them. What do you think?
I think that's what it's gonna come down to. He's gonna realize that, even his life's in danger of the butterflies.
Yeah.
So, and we kind of get that sense from the opening sequence when, Peacemaker lifts him up. So obviously he
Yeah.
has a bigger role because later on in the episode we see him again, which, I get makes more of a sense of having him in there, but are you down now, motherfucker?
I just like the scene where he's just eating his spicy Cheetos. Like seriously, like Cheetos must be so happy about the product placement in this show. I mean, he is just devouring some spicy Cheetos. Have you had any spicy Cheetos, by the way? Have you tried it?
Oh, God, yes. I love them. I used to have to get my friend who used to go down to the States smuggle them up for me. I'd be like, hey, can you bring me 4 bags? She's like,
Four
four? I'm like,
bags.
yeah. They are so good.
Do they sell them here though?
They do now.
Oh, they do not. Okay, okay, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Canada FDA finally approved them because I think the spiciness kind of eats through your system.
Well, most of the FDA people are Caucasian, so
They're
their
not
their
used
their
to it.
version of spice is salt and pepper. Right?
Even
Um,
saffron is exotic,
yeah.
you
What's a
know.
saffron? Is that a jewelry? So yeah, then we get to the scene where this is a cool scene where White Dragon
Oh,
takes to flight, and he just hashtag spicier than ketchup. Thanks, producer. Producer could put some pictures up on the screen too of the actual show. Would be nice as well. Um, White Dragon takes the flight and smashes. That was sick. He comes
oh,
in and just like bam, takes out the truck, sends it sideways into the road, and then just tears open the side, and it's about to just, as you can see in the picture, about to blow them up. His powers are pretty cool. Like, I mean, this is a pretty high tech suit. He's got flight, right?
I'm sorry.
So
I'm sorry, but like his, I know Peacemaker's costume is pretty funny, but his is just so like, do you remember The Incredibles, the Disney
yeah,
animation?
yeah, yeah.
He reminds me of what's his name? He comes up with his own the evil guy, red
I,
hair.
I, I can't
He
remember.
designed his own costume and weapons. That's what Syndrome. That's it. Thank you. Um this is what I think of when I see him. He's a racist piece of crap, but obviously he's smart enough to create his
Yeah.
look. But I kind of felt it was cheesy. I was glad to see in 2 scenes later what happens. So,
Yeah. So
ugh,
basically, insane amount of power that he has in his suit, and they kind of get away, which is weird. They fight a little bit and then they get away, but how they got away was pretty cool.
yeah.
Vigilante is a G. I gotta tell you right now, he's a straight up G. He unpins, rolls it like a bowling ball, and boom! Right, things go flying in the air, including White Dragon. So they're able to get out of that little jam, and Peacemaker and Economist kind of bolted into the forest, right?
Hmm.
And then they kind of they're hiding it out. They're hiding away. Oh, what's up, Matthew? How you doing? Uh,
This is when he
so
finds out that he's got a tracker in his
yeah,
helmet.
he figured
Yeah.
it out, right? He's like, did you see the little Easter egg where the raccoon is basically dangling the head, the helmet. It's a little nod to Rocket the Raccoon, right? James Gunn, Rocket Raccoon.
Oh,
Yeah, that was hilarious. I just thought that was so funny, so
that
clever.
was good. Yes.
That was just James Gunn just these cool, quirky things. I love it. Um, so we go back to Judo Master at the grocery store or the convenience store, and those two punks come out, and he just lays them out. He chases one of the guys and smashes the car into the car window. Right, like this guy's nuts. Like he's nuts. He doesn't
But
care.
if anyone did what those two jerks did, I
Yeah,
would
that's
have
true.
probably kicked their ass too. You
Yeah,
know.
but then he
But
takes off with their car. Right? He's like, yeah, it takes
and
off with
then
the car too. I was like, oh man, this guy's crazy.
and then after he kicks their ass, the store clerk looks out and he's like,
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so are they working
Cheetos,
together? Uh,
Spasa Cheetos. Yeah, and then we go back to I guess Judah Master is like the comic relief here. I guess in between scenes, and then we go to Vigilante taking off with this part was so funny. He
oh my god.
basically gets in the car of one of the henchmen that came with White Dragon,
You
and then
left the
one of the
keys in
guys,
the car?
yeah, he's like, "Well, I was in a rush. What do you want me to do?" Like, what? You left the keys in the car. It's so funny. And then you see
Uh,
this guy take it off in that car, the getaway car, eh?
I think it was a Mazda.
I don't know what it was. Maybe a Ford Fiesta. I think it was a Ford Fiesta or something. Who knows?
Probably. Looking at the people who were driving it, I wouldn't doubt it.
Oh, shots fired.
Bang bang.
And then we go back to the hotel where Harcourt and Latoya is hanging out.
Mern's
And then
getting ready to leave.
yes,
And then
all of a sudden,
so yeah.
how did they find them?
Because what happens is when one of the butterflies takes over the body, it connects to their memories. So that's why he said
Oh,
for everyone to get out. So his inside contact has been compromised.
yes.
So they know where they're staying. So they're on their way now. So Mern's getting his stuff together
Yeah.
after he's telling everyone, we need to get out of here. And then they hear car doors. The police are getting out. And then we have Hardcore walking towards Mern's door. And then she sees the cops coming up and she dekes out to the side.
Yeah.
And Mern is strapping one of those handcuff plastic zap straps. That's what you call them.
Zip ties or zap straps. Yeah.
Yeah, to the walkie-talkie. Why can't I talk tonight? What's going on? So they could hear everything that's going on because Leota has the other walkie-talkie. And so they come in, shoot him,
Man,
which was
so sad.
Especially after they were leaving and then the butterfly crawls out. Like
Oh
he
man,
could have survived. They could have found him another host to help, but
so sad. I was starting to like that guy.
I
Okay? I
know.
was starting to like him, and then a couple of bullets to the head, and then I felt so bad
Squish.
with the butterfly. I felt so bad about that. I was like, oh
Mhm.
man,
Especially when
no
Hardcore
animals
picks
were
her up.
harmed.
Yes. When Hardcore picks him up and he's putting out his little claw and
I
she's
know.
like, oh. I feel like Sarah McLachlan had to come into that scene and start like doing the whole SPCA thing.
Oh, producer, why'd you get to show me? My heart hurts. Oh yeah. Anyways, so these guys basically hide and wait till the cops all take off, and then we go back to the scene in the with the with Peacemaker and Vigilante and them. They're driving when he was driving, Vigilante was driving, and then he kind of nods off, right? He just falls asleep.
Yes.
It's the funniest thing ever. He's just like, I'm just gonna fall off, right? Goes into a little bit ditch, and then you see Economist and Peacemaker run to him and wake him up and like, get up, you idiot, like, and then move over, and then you see his armor is all like shredded, right, because of the explosion.
Yeah.
Vigilante is just, I guess he was just destroyed pretty much, right? And Peacemaker gets the car out of the ditch, and they're taken off. But how about the bird, Eagly? They're
Uh,
trying to get in the car, and he's pecking at his economist.
uh,
Oh man.
you know what? It's hard to say who my favorite character is in the show. I love Peacemaker from the Suicide Squad movie. Then I hated him at the end, and then this show you like him again, but then they introduce Eagly, and then they introduce Vigilante, and I'm like, I don't know. I feel like Vigilante's kind of stealing the show a little bit,
He doesn't
in my
care. He has no
opinion.
remorse. No remorse, nothing. He just doesn't
Ugh,
care. Doesn't
I
feel bad
love
about
it.
anything. It's crazy. So they're driving, and then they find out that the helmets are in the back of the trunk because Vigilante's asking him, like, how do they find us? And then he's like, yeah, by the way, we should stop because there's a bag of them in the trunk. Right? And then Peacemaker gets the bag out of the trunk, and then Eagly steps out of the car, and he's telling him, Economist, to get him back in the car by crinkling a bag of chips or pretending there's a bag of chips. And then he runs into the forest, and he's chucking this duffel bag. All of a sudden, he sees the henchmen all show up, and then he's running like, he kind of reminded me of. Do you remember Indiana Jones when he's running and there's a tribe of people coming after him, and he's
Yes.
like, it just reminded me of, like, there's so many shows. There's other shows like that where the person's running and there's a bunch of people coming after them, but it was just so
Mhm.
funny. He's like, go 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 go, right? And they come after him, and then, well, they catch up to him and kind of jump him, and finally, White Dragon comes into it, and this was a hardcore scene because there was a couple of things that he said, White Dragon, and all joking aside, this was a pretty serious part where, first of all, he identifies how old Peacemaker is. He's like 40 years has gone by, meaning that since he was born, he never liked this kid, which
Mhm.
is so sad to hear. Right? That right? He's basically is trying to compare it to the biblical story of, I believe it's Cain. Is it?
Uh, Not. I was gonna say Judas,
Oh,
but
Abraham.
Abraham. Yes.
Yeah, sorry, Abraham. So he compares about that, the story from there, and he says he's 40 years old. So we know that he's 40 years old. That's his age. And then he mentions that he never liked him. He always liked his brother more. I mean, like, the guy's been through so much, and then this dad is just grade A piece of what. And then he also kind of indicates that his son is bisexual. He likes women and men, and he's just basically saying he's a sin, he's this and that, and he's just about to kill him. Like, he's about to curb stomp him, right? He's got his feet or foot on his chest and is crushing him, and he's about to use his cannon arms, or whatever you want to call them, bionic sound blasters, about to shoot him, and in swoops in Vigilante,
Vigilante.
and he's
That
like,
was
the
awesome.
the weak spot in the armor, remember? And he's basically electrocuting him. He's like, shh, just like electrocuting him, and he does a good job because what he did was basically short circuit his suit, right?
Mhm.
Because he tried to shoot the blasters from his hands, and they just kept short circuiting. So he did. He is, in my opinion, more important than Peacemaker right now because he's keeping Peacemaker alive.
Yeah. This has got to be one of the. I was expecting a huge, slightly longer fight out of this, but it's kind of nice that they kind of kept it short but sweet, you know,
Mhm.
and just the point when, you know, White Devil gets knocked back, Peacemaker gets up, and his dad was really laying it on thick with the
Yeah,
you're asking for to be shot. So, we got Peacemaker pick up the gun, pointed at his dad, and he's like, "No, you're not gonna do it because you're a
yeah,
piece of
yeah.
crap." And
All
bam.
kinds of nasty stuff. Yeah, and then yeah, he's just basically egging his son to do it because he thinks his son doesn't have the balls to do it, right?
Hmm.
Well, guess what? Well, before that though, Eagly was trying to go after him, and he got swatted. Poor
Yes.
Eagly.
Oh,
We did confirm. We reached out. There was no animals harmed, so don't worry. Uh, so Eagly didn't get hurt in real life. That's all CGI. No angry letters. No PETA should not be going there and sending James Gunn angry letters. So going back to this part, this huge moment in Peacemaker's, story where he didn't want to kill his dad no matter how bad his dad was because he's like, dude, that's my dad. Remember him saying that to Vigilante in the car? Like, dude, that's my dad. I can never kill him. But he finally figures it all out. Like it's all coming together for him. Like he's understanding who this guy is and how terrible of a human being is. Forget a terrible father. He's just a terrible, terrible human being. And that's what basically led him to pull the trigger,
yeah.
right? And shoot him right in the head. And I was just like, oh, damn. Because I thought he was going to arrest him or something, like tie him up and take him to the, jail. Because I thought he's going to do the whole Batman thing. Remember, he used to make fun of Batman, saying,
Yes.
this and that. He just lets his, villains go back and kill again, right? I thought he's going to do something like that where he's going to tie him up and take him. But he's like, nope, bam, shoots him in the head, right?
And I
I
think he
guess,
realized that like he didn't want to do what Batman already does,
yeah,
because he knows how his dad is now. He realizes and understands that. And as ditzy as sometimes Peacemaker comes off as, he is very smart. There is that underlying
yeah,
smartness, and he's not going to risk, and he's going to treat it like as if he was going after anyone else.
yeah. I mean, he did say peace at all cost, right? So,
Hmm.
shot to the head, right? Dad is dead. Um, so this part is funny. They have Eagly's hurt, so they got to take Eagly to the vet.
uh,
Do you want to talk about this moment here? Well, let's talk about
it's
let's talk about what happens back with Latoya and Harcourt, who comes and visits them at the hotel. Our friend comes visits them at the hotel. Judo master comes in there.
oh yeah, but that okay.
I
Yeah.
think that
I,
happens same time as they go to the vet because they get the call to come see them at the vet afterwards.
oh, I yes, sorry. I'm just like that happened when Mern was like when they went in to go see Mern after he was dead and that. And then see that's the thing with this show is it keeps going back and forth at some
Yeah,
parts. And then we pick up after the whole fight between the two, and then they get a call to come to the vet, and
I
so we're
well,
on our way.
I just want to mention that Harcourt she can battle. That girl got skills.
Damn,
She beat the living without a judo master. She held her own. Let's put it that way, right?
she did. And I have to say, from the first or second episode when I didn't like her, I'm actually liking her more and more as this season goes on. So I can't wait for next week because if anything like this week's episode is next week, it's or this week. Sorry. See,
Yeah,
I'm so mixed up.
it's okay. It's okay, Chris.
Yeah.
I'll let you know when the show starts. I'll send you a
Yeah.
message. But
It's Thursdays.
one of the things I liked about the character Harcourt is, see, this is how you create a strong female character. You don't overdo it. You let the character grow and become its own thing throughout the show. You don't try to shoehorn it from day one and make the character front and center. It's Peacemaker's show. It's not her show, right?
Hmm.
But the way they develop her, make her become sort of the leader after Myrn dies, it's it's good writing, it's intelligent way of doing things. It's not force feeding this stuff into people's faces, right? This is what
Yeah.
I love. This is how you develop strong female characters in TVs and movie shows. You don't shove it down people's throat. You make validation of who they become at the end of this show, because now
Hmm.
people can look at it and say there's a growth of this character. She was someone that, like you just said, you didn't like her in the beginning, but now you like her because she's grown, she's matured in the show. She's showing, teamwork. She's showing leadership. She's not being cocky. She's not being arrogant. She's not saying it's me, me, me. She's part of the team, right?
Yeah.
And you can get behind that kind of um, development. And I really like the direction that she's going. She's obviously, with Myrn dead, she's a likely choice. Like, everyone automatically would think Peacemaker is the leader, but
Hmm.
going to the scene in the veterinarian's office, we got the Three Stooges there that Vigilante wants to shoot right away. So you want to talk about that? Because I know you wanted to talk about this scene.
So we're at the vet, and they walk into the office, and they see Vigilante holding a gun against these three vets, one vet and one female nurse and one male nurse. And so he's like, well, they know who we are. They know we're wanted. So we have to kill them.
Yeah,
He's so conflicted. But because, like, he goes off of what other people say, they're not bad. They're bad. They need to die. They can live. And Hardcore is like, no, they don't have to die. And he's like, okay, we'll tie them up, and, we'll be long gone by then. And then he says to him, make sure not to use duct tape because it really hurts taking it off afterwards. And he's
and the
like,
economist,
you're more,
you're concerned about duct tape, but you're willing to shoot them in the head. Okay.
uh, seriously. One thing I did want to touch on what you were talking about, about the strong female character. This is the thing that's making this show work. James Gunn knows how to produce and write a movie that is so balanced for all the main characters, because let's face it, all the characters in this movie of the Black Ops team are main characters. So
Yeah.
we get some development, and we've seen it in Guardians of the Galaxy, but it's nice that you can tell them apart. You
There's
don't.
balance. There's
Yeah.
balance.
So this is what I love about James Gunn, and I
Yeah.
cannot wait to see more from him. So then back to the vet, uh, Leota leaves and walks up to the window, and we see Peacemaker praying over Eagly.
Yeah, he says
And
basically, I won't have sex with ugly chicks anymore, God, if you save Eagly.
oh my god, it's so terrible. And Leota's watching over, and you can tell she's starting to feel feels about, I shouldn't have lied to him. And he's praying, and then all of a sudden Eagly starts moving, and he gets up, and we see this big scene of Eagly hugging Peacemaker, and Leota's witnessing it. And I love how they reference back to the first episode when Peacemaker was telling her that, oh, he hugged me. And she's like, yeah, right. Oh,
And the funny thing is, he's trying to take a selfie again because he missed the
oh,
first
it's
time.
so
Remember?
cute. As proof, he's like trying to go really slow. And I'm just like, this is why I
So good.
love animals more than people sometimes.
Oh, so good. So good.
uh, and then,
Um,
oh, sorry.
I do want to mention one thing I forgot we got to mention. She never told Amanda about Myrn being a butterfly, right? And that, I guess, that was her validation that she did care about the team, even though she did something stupid like hide the diary. I guess
Mhm.
that was enough for Hardcore to continue trusting her in some ways and saying that you didn't sell us out entirely. You could have done that, but you didn't. Um,
Mhm.
that that doesn't really translate well in terms of Peacemaker's relationship with her. He doesn't care. He tells her in the van on the way out of there that no, I don't care. I just want to get this done with, and I'm out of here. I don't trust any of you guys. I don't like any of you guys. I'm out. Right, especially
Mhm.
her. He's like, because she tried to apologize to him, and he's like, nope, I don't care. Sure, whatever. I don't accept your apology, which is, like, he's genuinely pissed, right? And he has a right to, I think, right? I think
Mhm.
he has a right to be pissed at her because he basically got screwed over by her, and he already
And
has trust issues right now, right?
well, yeah, especially for what he had to do,
Mm-hmm.
and I think we were talking about this earlier before we came on. We got to see. No, we talked about it. Never mind.
What were you gonna
I
say?
I need to I need to start drinking coffee before I
Oh,
come on
oh, I don't want you drinking
days like
wine like
this.
you did last week.
Maybe I could
Pouring it
even.
halfway through, pouring it halfway through the show.
Oh my god. Okay,
Uh,
Bodacious, if you want to sponsor us, please do. We
yeah, I
love
don't
your
think they will.
wine. I do.
We don't need you to drink more wine during the show.
But no,
So
oh, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, so they're basically getting in that truck and they're saying, "Hey, sponsor us, Red Bull." Jeez,
Ugh, no, not Red Bull.
I think he spelt Red Bull wrong too as well. Um, so they get in the truck and they're heading out to the farm because Hardcore basically said to everybody, "Hey, listen, she's got the big speech there happening, right, to get the team rallied up." She's like, "Without this cow, the butterflies can't live because they don't drink and eat our water and food. They need this thing. It's the only thing that keeps them alive. If we kill this cow, they're essentially dead. They have no way of living because they transported this thing from all the way from their planet to here. So obviously there's a huge importance to this thing, right?" And
You've missed something. They didn't
yes.
transport, and it was specifically said when they overheard the main butterfly, they teleported.
Oh, sorry, teleported. Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's going to be interesting. How did they tell? Oh, they had the device. Remember they actually showed the teleportation devices. So yeah,
yeah. It's a piece.
I guess we'll find out what this teleportation is all about. Maybe, right?
I'm like, it's got to be bigger than that, than what they showed, what this cow looks like, because like hell, that's going to teleport that thing. Like,
So yeah, let's talk
how
about
do
this
you
cow.
expect to?
This is not an ordinary cow. Like, I'm expecting Jersey Shore cow, right? This thing is massive. Like,
Like,
this
how
thing
did the
is.
ground not collapse? I'm sorry. I'm that type of person who's like, this is so unrealistic because there's no way the ground above it would support the weight. It would have sunken in by now, or it's like
Is it
literally.
floating though? I think it's floating.
Well, okay. Even if it was floating, what the hell are they chaining it to? Those got to be some
The
pretty
suction
heavy.
things, the suction devices are holding it down.
Well, no, up in the air. The
They
suction things are
they got
sucking
some.
up the
I guess
nectar.
I guess they have some chains, giant chains. We'll find out more
Sure.
next week. Oh, not this week. We'll get some more ideas. I'm sure we're gonna see it. But the other thing I was gonna mention was since they teleported here, I'm wondering if the show ends with them teleporting to that planet.
I think they were just going to teleport it to a different section of planet Earth. So it'd be hard for them to
Oh
know
man,
exactly where.
can you imagine them teleporting to another planet or something? That'd be insane. Because James Gunn does great space shows, right? He does great. Guardians of the Galaxy has some crazy planets that we visited,
But
right?
I think he wouldn't want to do that because that's what he's known for. They don't want him. He probably doesn't want fans of his work on those two movies to like, oh, he's using space as a way of
Mm-hmm.
making his work easy because he's already done it before. you know I think he's going to give us something new, something different, and I really hope that there's a confirmed season 2 because I'm so down for this.
He did say that the show will end off and it basically hint towards another show that they're going to be rolling out on HBO Max. So everyone's saying it's Green Lantern. Everybody's saying that, and
Mm,
so there was some, Green Lantern s type of Easter eggs thrown in, especially the city police force. The city where the lantern is from, a specific lantern. There was that emerald doorway that looks like a Green Lantern ring. So there's those are just kind of people speculating, but
mhm.
this episode coming up, that he said that there is going to be some sort of hint towards the next TV show that he's not part of it, but HBO Max is doing, right?
Uh, yeah, I don't know if I'll watch it. He's
I'm gonna
set.
I'll watch it 100%.
He's he's taken the DC movies and set such a high standard bar that it's gonna be a lot for anyone else to reach. You
That's
know,
why I said, like, if I have a Warner Brothers, I would just tell them, how many Brink trucks do you want us to roll to your yard? Just give us a
there's
number.
billions.
Yeah, just here's the keys to all of our superheroes. You have access to everything, movies and TV shows. You can pick your
Mhm.
own directors you want underneath you. I just want you to be like, they should say you should be the next Kevin Feige of DC, right?
Right?
Just take him away from Marvel altogether. Throw him gobbles of money and say, just move over here and build the empire here. And
Mhm.
I can't think of anybody else besides him to lead DC into the next, decade or two, because he's obviously intelligent and creative enough to do a show like this and make it one of the most successful DC franchise. Forget TV shows like this. This show is like on par with some of the movies that Zack Snyder put out, right?
Oh yeah.
For what, a third of the budget too. Right? I had more fun watching this than Batman versus Superman. That was such a
Well,
boring movie show or movie.
I think I get more satisfaction watching the Magic School Bus than any other DC movies. So
Yikes. I
yeah,
did not say that. Send all your hate mail to him, Christopher.
that's just my opinion. You know,
I know.
it is what it
There's a
is.
lot of people who are on Snyder's side of the fence too, right? They love his stuff, um, but I'm not one of them. So, let's give it a score out of 10. What do you give it?
I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it a 9.
A 9?
A 9.
Ooh, then some big numbers there.
You know
Okay,
what? It's escalating. It's getting better and better, in my opinion. And I think they're gonna go out with a huge bang this week.
okay. I'm gonna give it 8.5. It was well done. There were some moments that I was sad about, but overall, it was well done. I enjoyed it.
Hmm.
All right, let's get into our next topic. It was a Super Bowl trailer that really rocked the Marvel world. Uh, People are just can't stop talking about this trailer. It is Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness trailer, and wow, what a trailer! I mean, we this is not even the official final trailer before the show hits airways, but yeah, let's take a look at this trailer here. So right off the bat, you got this. He wakes up, clock. We've seen this
Talking
part,
about
right?
his nightmares,
Yeah, yeah.
always dreaming about the same thing. Ugh.
And then, oh, man,
I can only think of. I can't stop thinking about that one part when.
yeah, yeah. So
Ugh.
director Sam Raimi, we see all the, and for anyone who's listening, we're actually just watching the trailer here. You can check it
Mhm.
out, the new Doctor Strange trailer. You see Wanda with her new outfit there.
He's
We've seen this
calling
scene
to
where
her.
talking to her basically, and then you see uh, Rantor.
Sorry, Justin. Who is that again? Do
It's
you want to come on
Rantor,
and say?
but Reptar.
Reptar.
So Justin, I know he's doing this. If freeze it right here, right there. So this scene is cool. You see the Ultron esque Iron Man robots walking Doctor Strange into this huge structure building. You can play it now if you want, and then uh, he basically stands in front. What everyone's saying here, right here, you can pause it right there. Just go
Professor
back,
X.
Professor X, because you hear
Oh,
Patrick Stewart's voice right there, and what everyone's saying is this is the Illuminati, right? You have Black Bolt in there. You'll have Namor. You'll probably have Mr. Fantastic. He's part of the Illuminati group. So Professor X is in the middle of the Illuminati group. But man, this is insane.
ugh.
What are you thinking? Like, when you watched it, were you just like going crazy?
I have to hold back my excitement. This is only a Easter egg, and but it does touch on the fact that they are like lightly stroking the X-Men face, caressing it, saying, "Soon, my friends, soon you will be seeing X-Men in the MCU." And that's what I'm hoping. And it's just I keep going back, and yeah, all I
This
can
is
think
crazy
about is
because he was asked by Kevin Feige to come on, and he said no in the past. He's always said no. I'm not interested in coming on, and because he's like, I don't want to do the X-Men thing. I guess Kevin Feige said, hey, listen, this is not the X-Men thing. You're going to be actually a different character. You're just going to play another Xavier in a different universe. So I guess he probably did one up on Patrick Stewart. Like, I know you said you didn't want to do X-Men Professor Xavier, but this is Professor Xavier from the Illuminati. So, hey, I got you. You have to come on now. Right?
and I'm
So,
so glad it's Patrick Stewart,
yep.
and nothing against uh what's his name? Uh the other Professor X.
Oh, I am. What is his name? He's a good actor though.
He is an amazing actor. Like in Split, holy crap, the different characters he plays. James McAvoy.
Yeah.
Nothing against him. I think he's awesome, but it's great to have the original Professor X that, he was like the only character they casted really, really well. But I
Well,
don't
Hugh Jackman was good.
well, he was, but
Halle
the
Berry was
X-Men
good. Was
uh,
she not?
she could have been better if they written her character more intelligent. Like, I'm
Yeah, well, the
sorry.
writing with Fox was always terrible,
Ugh,
right? It was like they didn't even want comic book material on set. Right?
yeah.
The whole story where Kevin Feige was sneaking in comic books to Hugh Jackman so he can know what Wolverine was as a character. I mean, that's crazy. This is insane. Like you're making a comic book movie and you don't want comic books on set. What? That like I don't
It
even understand the logic there, right?
Yeah, I don't know where you're trying to go with this, which is funny because, which is going to bring us into the topic coming up after this. But, you know, I get the point of changing some things, but when you start changing too much and you're veering so far away from source material in general, and you're not
Yeah,
even taking that into consideration, you're just going to lose it. And, the only X-Men movie that I really loved out of those three was X2 because, we got to see Jean Grey develop the Phoenix powers. We got to see Storm actually do some amazing weather manipulation. But, I own all the X-Men movies because that's all we get. So at least I'll enjoy it for what it is, until
yeah,
they enter the MCU. That's all I have to enjoy.
yeah.
So
I
I'll
I
take it
thought
where I can get it.
I thought all three X-Men movies were complete trash, complete garbage. The only thing that kept me watching is because I had nothing else to watch. Because at the time, they were the only superhero movies out, aside for Tobey
Mhm.
Maguire Spider-Man, right? But and I did like Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, even though when he was casted, I was like, this guy is 6 feet tall. Wolverine should be like 5'4". But you know what? He made up for it with his aggression and his great acting, and you can tell he's
Mhm.
a great actor. He's got tons of movies he's done. He's done Broadway, I believe, as well. So, yeah, Hugh Jackman made it entertaining enough for me to continue watching it, and Patrick Stewart was the Professor Xavier. And you're right, I can't see anybody else but him right now as Professor Xavier, and maybe we'll get Charlie McAvoy to come back because how much time does Patrick Stewart really have to continue
Don't
doing
say
these?
that. It's
Well,
2022 and it hasn't been starting out well.
I
Don't.
know. I'm just saying. Hey, you know what? If you're gonna cast an X-Men Professor Xavier, you better be in it for the long haul because they're gonna milk the what out of X-Men movies. Like there are so many great characters in the
Yeah.
X. We haven't even scratched that part. So,
See, they can milk it because they're going to do it well. They're going to do it
well, let's
very
see. Well,
gently.
let's see because it is getting watered down quite a bit. We'll reserve that per movie as it goes forward, right?
Yeah.
Because Disney executives, they see money and they're like, hey, let's continue milking this big fat cow. No pun intended for Peacemaker, right? Big fat cow. Let's just keep milking it. Uh, but
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I mean, this is such a cool thing. Let's play the trailer again. It could continue forward. But yeah, there's so many things happening here. This is a prehistoric, like Jurassic Park is happening there. Like, where are they? Are they in the savage land of X-Men? Right?
Oh, yes. And then we got evil Doctor Strange.
Oh, and then we got Chavez there, American Chavez.
It's going
Yeah.
to be interesting to see how they work in that new character because, honestly, she's such an underdog of a
This scene,
character.
go back to that part right there where she's talking to Doctor Strange. That's everyone's saying because there's two of her right here. Stop right there. This might be the evil version of her where she doesn't give a shit. Because she says to him, like, hey, when
Wanda.
you do something to break the rules, you're you're not chastised about it. But when I do something, I'm ridiculed about this thing. Right?
I bet you this is the scene because earlier in the trailer, we see her meditating and floating, and then we hear Strange's voice. So I think Strange is contacting her mentally, and where they are now is, in their mind in the
Yeah.
meetup. And I think this might be Wanda's mind at the moment, but that's only me speculating. I here's the thing with this movie. I'm super stoked and excited to see this, but I honestly don't know what to expect. Like we can come up with our theories, but I
Oh
think they've
yeah.
done it so well where, when we go see the movie, you're like, what the hell? I was not expecting that. I
Yeah.
think this is going to be a very shocking and surprising. It's almost Infinity War excitement when we
Well,
saw
it's
that
excitement
trailer.
because I think why it's really exciting is the fact that they showed already one major character in Professor Xavier, and if they showed this character, what else do they have hidden away here? Like
Hmm.
they were willing to show. Like generally, Marvel is not going to show you their biggest secrets in a trailer to try to hide that as a shock value thing, right? So if they're willing to show him already in a trailer, can you imagine what else they have in store for us? Because from what I heard, there's more than 20 cameos. 20
Wow.
cameos is what I've been hearing. It's going to show up. Some of them might be, B characters that people don't even recognize, but us nerds will recognize. But there's some big characters that are going to be showing up. Different versions of them will show up. That's going to be insane. Like that's
Hmm.
just going to be this this movie has to work though. This movie has to be well written. It has to work for this whole theory of multiverse to continue. If movie doesn't do a good job and it's a mixed bag of just all kinds of chaos, and I don't say chaos as in chaos magic, I mean chaos as in it's all over the place. There's not really a true story structure in place. Then Marvel's gonna have a hard time trying to get this multiverse theory to the general public. Us nerds, we'll eat it up. We'll eat it up all day
Yeah.
long. But they need to sell this to the general audience as well and get them to follow along because they need them to go to the box office. They need to buy merchandise. They need to chat it all up, continue the Disney Plus subscriptions. They need everybody on board for this crazy, multiverse. Because if this is going to be successful, you bet they're going to milk it, and you bet they're going to make TV shows with different universes. They can do so many things with this. It's insane. They can do so many
Yeah.
things, right? There's even in one of the parts, I don't know if we could find it, but there was a part where the glass shatters, and you can actually see um what do you call it, Captain what's her name, Captain Carter's shield on there.
Oh, really?
You can see her shield, and so she's supposed to be from the What If. She's supposed to come into the live action version.
Oh.
So they're bringing characters from the animation into this movie. So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's so many things could be going in various directions if they get this going with the general public. The idea of there could be multiple Iron Mans, multiple Thors, whatever, different
Mhm.
versions of them all over the place, and we're going to show you all of them on our Disney Plus and our movies. We're just going to go crazy, right? So
I so far it seems like they're doing a very good job with the multiverse. When it came to the Spider-Man No Way Home, we got some characters from different universes. If
yeah,
they streamline it and make it easy to follow, people who don't know will enjoy it.
yeah,
And, ever since we got our very first MCU movie of Iron Man, this whole franchise is in such good hands. And I don't think anyone's been disappointed yet so far, like extremely disappointed. But, if they do it properly, then
yeah,
yes, there is a way to, expand this and milk it all in a good way. They'll be able to introduce so many more characters that'll make it seem fresh and new. We won't get bored very easily, but yet we'll still see our favorite characters. And even if we don't get to see them
yeah,
for a full episode, at least we got to see them brought to life. So I'm just, yeah, I'm still looking forward to what this is going to bring in the
yeah.
future.
Custom by matches that look like zombie strange at the end. Of course, yes.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
also zombie Wanda as well, because it looks like the other version with the regular clothing. It looks like she might turn into a zombie as well, because her face looked like it's about to change. So we could have two. We could have the Wanda zombie from the What If come into this as well, right?
Oh, I
And I
think you just got a reflection of me without makeup on. That was just me.
yeah. And then let's go back to that scene where we see zombie Doctor Strange with the multi hands there. That looked pretty deadly.
Oh,
Uh,
that looks. See, that's what I mean. Like, this trailer has so much going on, and we're like, it's it's feeding us so much, but yet it's still tailored back to keep our intrigue there. I'm not feeling overwhelmed watching it,
mhm.
because sometimes I get like that when I see trailers and they're showing so much, like Fast and the Furious, because they're on their
Yeah,
20th movie. But it's just like, they're
it.
they're just doing it so well.
I'm kind of concerned because it's Sam Raimi. I'm kind of concerned
Why?
that I don't know. I'm I'm not a huge fan of Sam Raimi. That's what you know what,
uh,
he's good. He's not bad. I'm just not a huge fan of him, and I'm worried. I'm worried that can he pull this together? And I'm rooting. Like, I'm not trying to be negative here. I'm rooting for this movie to be awesome, because I
but
love Doctor Strange as a character, right? So
yeah,
I
but
really want this movie to do it.
you also gotta think Kevin Foggy is also
Foggy, who's
behind the
Foggy?
scene.
Who's Foggy? That's from Daredevil. Foggy, Kevin Feige. You
Okay, if
said,
you want to pronounce it,
yeah,
I'll
I want to
correct
pronounce it
you on
right.
everything that you pronounce. But anyways,
You
he's
jump on
still
every time I
behind
get it
this.
wrong. You jump on
Yeah.
me,
Oh,
so
I
I'm gonna give it
will.
right back at you.
Feige. Was watching a video and the person pronounced it
Reptar.
Feige, and I'm like, what? Who? But anyways, he's behind the scenes,
Can
so
producer
he's
go back to the zombie Strange Police? Because producer, I guess,
um
was MIA when we first asked. There it
uh
is. You got to be loving this, aren't you?
oh, of course,
Right there. That
obviously. And
can we get a
yeah.
figure, please? That is
Oh, we
insane.
will. Hello, we're getting a whole series.
That's
So
insane.
this guy, hold on, is only the beginning.
Oh, I don't even like zombies,
Yeah.
but I love that.
This is such an awesome
I know.
figure. And the other thing that gets me excited, oh, sorry, here, close up. There we go. Zombie cap. Ooh. The other thing that I'm excited about having Sam Raimi back is he is the mastermind behind Evil Dead.
Never watched it.
Oh, see, you need to
Yeah,
watch it.
not really.
Yeah, really.
No,
It's part
I'm
of
good.
it's part of pop culture, and you would understand the way he
Look at
produces.
you. Look at you trying to
Yeah.
use that pop culture. Huh? It's still not going to
Mm-hmm.
get me to watch it.
Bing, 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 bing.
But I'm interested in this. This looks so cool. I,
Ugh.
I I think SH Figure Arts is probably going to give us a really good version of this with the
I
multiple
love how
hands.
it's a kind of play off of Infinity War when he does that wicked move where he
Yeah,
splits
yeah.
off. So I love that they played off of that. Ugh. And look
But
at
is
his
it?
cape.
But this looks like if you look at the picture, the other hands don't look like its hands. They look like the demons are the other hands behind him. The sort of the demons are going inside him because the other hands are black, but his hands are his flesh hands. So it looks like the demons are merging inside him, and then that's causing the multiple hands.
Well, is this the Doctor Strange from What If when he has all those demons inside of him?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Yeah.
Let's face it, we all have demons inside of us. I wish mine would come out like this instead of like endless hours of crying. No, I'm just kidding.
Customer Matthew says that Evil Dead is great, but otherwise Sam Raimi is meh. Sam
Can we
Raimi.
block him, please,
Oh my god.
producer? No, I'm just
We're
kidding.
not doing that. He's a friend of the show.
Yes, he is. Uh,
Um, yeah, so this is gonna be a crazy movie. I can't wait. May it comes out in May. I'm gonna be watching this. Hopefully I can get tickets right away because I think it's gonna sell out like it's gonna be gone. Tickets
I
are gonna sell out
told you you
fast.
should buy out a theater like you did for
Yeah.
Spider-Man because
Okay.
this is just
You wanna
as
chip in
big.
and give your share of it too? Then that'll be great.
I'll chip in my go. You can do it.
All right.
I'll be there for sure.
Let's get into our let's actually go talk about our Black History Month before we get into our final topic. So we do every week of Black History Month for the month of February. This week we're gonna I'm gonna talk about a hero that is from South Africa. It's Quasi. It is created
You
by
crazy. What?
Quasi, Kwezi. It's a character created by a South African writer and artist. Uh, they are trying to create a culture of comic books. They have their own fan expo there or fan con there in South Africa, and it's gaining traction. There's good characters being created there. It's gaining traction, and this character is modernized character. It's a you know a person who basically thinks is very arrogant in the beginning, very sort of tries to be the anti sort of hero in the beginning, doesn't really care about society, thinks he's better than everybody else. But slowly, when he gets these superpowers, he starts to understand that he's got to have a more of a different approach and help people. He's got the ability to take flight. He's got superhuman strength. I'm intrigued. I'm definitely gonna be exploring more of this character because uh, the more I look into characters outside of North America, I realize there's a lot of hidden talent around the world that's not getting to treatment like Marvel characters or DC characters getting. And I think that's a shame because there's so many interesting characters out there, and people need to go out and see these characters. I mean, just look at some of the pictures that we're putting up here. I mean, they're interesting. I want to know about them, right? Like, I definitely want to know about it. So,
But
I
you also gotta, sorry to interrupt, you also gotta keep in mind, this is based specifically in Africa, right?
mhm,
So just like music that we get from around the world, for example, the amazing Robin, she's from Sweden and she did come to the US and then she just disappeared for a little while. She might not be popular out here, but
yeah,
she's huge. But now she made a bit of a comeback. But, it's sad that, you know, comic book writing and artistry isn't as mainstream. Like, it should be more mainstream. There should be more focus on developing and promoting of this because when you think about it, these are such amazing stories, and so many young kids who read these comic books have someone to relate to, you know?
yeah,
And the thing that I like about the comic that you're talking about, you know, we get comics out here like the Avengers. Yeah, we have Sam Wilson, who is black, and he's a superhero. He's not usually made to be the main hero.
yeah.
We
Well,
get
he
a
is
little,
now. He is now.
he is now, but how long did that take to get that? Where we have the main character who is black, and, there's no diluting the amazing um, story he has to tell and what we will learn about. It's just great that they should find a way. I don't know why Marvel or DC doesn't look at these amazing companies from different parts of the world and, you know, give them a grant, bring them out to Canada, US, expand their horizons and say, listen, we want to bring you out this way to get you some exposure and, make it big. But then there's also that possibility where, the DC or Marvel can turn around and say, okay, here's the contract. We will own 51% of the company. And then that means the original creators who started it lose all control over their character. And then DC can, I know I'm getting sidetracked, but these are all pros and cons of, you know,
Well, when I was in New Zealand, I went to a comic store and I asked them right away. I said, "Do you have any local heroes that artists and creators have made in New Zealand only?" And
mhm,
the lady took me to a section and it showed all kinds of these different characters, heritage characters, superheroes, like the Polynesians, cultural superheroes, the Maori in from New Zealand, which is their the Polynesians there. They had heroes there. They had mythology there that young kids, Maori kids, can read about and learn. So it was good, and it was very creative, and I enjoyed it. And I think what DC and Marvel should do is have an international version of their brand out there, and
mhm.
go out there and seek artists and writers who are internationally making headways in countries like South Africa, New Zealand, and then truly to say that this is a global, effort to include everybody. Because what's the thing right now? Everybody wants everyone to be included on everything, and they want
Yeah.
inclusion for everybody, but you only see North American version of it. You don't see a worldwide version of it. And I think the best way to do is to create an international outlet for some of these young writers and artists to showcase their talent, where Disney and DC can Warner Brothers can filter through and say, okay, this person has promise. We really like this character, and not really own majority of the IP. I think what they should do is say, hey, listen, if you want to come on board and get, you know, part of our line, part of our branding, we'll provide all the marketing for you. You guys stay true to who you are. We're sort of give you that nudge. And I don't
Kind of
think they
like a
should,
mentorship.
yeah, mentorship, but sort of an opportunity for them to grow and maybe one day have a movie or a TV show in their country to start off with,
Yeah.
right? I think that would be a good way to do it. I don't think they should ever own more than 51% of anything of anyone's intellectual property. I think that's just poaching and trying to take away from creativity, because the minute they have majority a stake in it, they might just cancel the whole thing and say, you know what, it didn't work for us, and then all of a sudden that artist who's worked years and years on that character just diminishes, right? Not
And
everything is going
it's
to be successful, but if it's
yeah,
successful in the country that it's originated from, then that's good enough for me, right?
it's that risk that some people don't want to take. They thought, okay, well, I'm gonna do this to get exposure and to expand more worldwide, and then things don't work out. But then they think, well, if I didn't do that, I could have been still more successful that I got to on my own. So
Yeah,
it's always such a touchy subject, not a subject, but it's always a touchy situation when you're getting into big corporates and
yeah,
licensing. It sucks that it's like that. And you know ugh,
yeah. But I
I
mean,
wish it
getting
was
back
easier.
getting back to this character Quasi, it's a very interesting character. I'm interested in learning more about this, and this is just one character part of a bigger unit of characters, the vanguards. In Africa, there's a team of like the Avengers. There's some really cool looking characters. I'll talk about another one next week, but I'm very interested in, and I'm really happy to hear that they have a fan con there that's growing every year. It started a few years ago, and now it's growing and getting bigger every year. And it's nice to see an international, Comic Con version of it in Africa, because if that nation gets big, and who knows, there might one of those characters might one day find themselves on the big screen or on a TV show. I think that's pretty cool to see that. We will love to see all these characters come out of nowhere, as long as the story is fun and entertaining. I think it'll be great.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that is our Black History Month figure, or not figure, the character that I've picked. Next week we'll do another one. I think when D comes back, he's gonna have one as well. He's always gonna try to one up me, but we'll see.
Or
We'll
have the
see.
exact same
Yeah,
person.
or the same one. So that is our three topics, but we do have a bonus topic today. We couldn't pass
Ooh,
this up. It is the most expensive TV show ever put together.
possibly
Uh,
the most expensive mistake.
Yeah, I mean, it's a dicey one already, and the show hasn't even started. It is
Uh,
premiering on September 2nd on Amazon. It is the Ring. What's it called again?
Lord of the Rings,
Not
Rings
Lord
of
of the
Power.
Rings.
No,
Rings
it
of
says,
Power. Rings
yeah,
of
it's Lord
Power.
of the
Yeah.
Rings, Rings of Power.
Yeah. Rings of Power. It is takes place the prequel basically of the Lord of the Rings franchise that we all know and love. Uh, it dates back thousands of years before that. And it has been hit with a lot of controversy. There's a lot of people not happy. A lot of J.R.R. Tolkien's fan base are not happy at what they're seeing in the trailer, and there's been a lot of backlash. There's been how should I say it? A lot of negativity towards it, because people are not happy with the direction they went, how they try to cram a huge part of the mythos into. It's slated for 5 seasons. Let's see if it makes it there. Um, but they're trying to cram everything into five
So,
seasons. They're trying to cram 100 years of it. But yeah, let's go to the Super Bowl. That's not the trailer producer. It's the Super Bowl trailer that we're looking for. So that's just a teaser.
the,
But there's a Super Bowl trailer that they released um, during the Super Bowl halftime, and
so while we're waiting for that to be
there it is,
brought
right
up,
there. Yeah,
the one issue that I find with this trailer is it doesn't really give you much to go on. And it
nothing at
is
all.
actually,
Yeah,
and it is shorter than a regular trailer.
yeah,
So, I feel like it's also a little bit, you know, they might have planned for this because
yeah,
any bad talk is good talk because people are talking about it. They're not giving you any kind of storyline. They're not giving you any direction. They're only letting you know when this is taking place. They're giving us little tidbits. And, how are people freaking out? Like, I've watched this trailer a couple of times, and,
So
you know,
I can paint that picture for you if you like. So based on my research, and I, you know me, I like to look at it from every angle possible, and I
mhm,
don't really pick one specific angle and stick to it. I like to hear from everyone's point of view on this. So from what I gather, and I looked at the purists, the big fans, the hardcore fans, and they are the ones that I look at first. Anytime I try to research something, a topic, I look at the fans of that genre first to see what they're saying. And from
mhm,
what I've been hearing, and this is all over the internet, they're pissed off because they're saying that when the book and the lore was created, it's called Middle Earth for a reason. It's part of the Earth. It's not all of the Earth. It doesn't encompass everything. But that specific region that the show or the lore takes place in, it doesn't have a whole lot of multiculturalism in it. That's not to say that he or Tolkien didn't have characters from different parts of the world. There is in Lord of the Rings movie, I believe it was the Return of the King. There was a tribe, a massive tribe. They're very Arabian esque, if you want to call it. That was part of the mythos. So people didn't have any issues with that because it was written in the books and the description was accurate. And that part of the world, there is more of an Arabian type of culture there. Now his all of
mhm.
his characters, all of his landscape and all of it's all fiction. There's no actual Earth uh, geographical location, but it's all fiction. And he's very and the way he describes the characters, how they look, are very detailed. He doesn't make any vague descriptions of anything where you can interpret it differently. It's very direct, and a lot
Yeah.
of it is blonde, blue eyes, a white skin, right? And then he has
Oh,
the
that's the worst. Yeah.
but that's his this vision though. That's his vision. He has a right to describe who and what he wants in his story. It's his story, right? And
Yeah.
he has a right to do that. And he's got elves, he's got dwarves in there, and he makes it very clear that a lot of them are, there is no colored uh, people in this region. They're all, very Caucasian based culture, right?
So, sorry, I just want to
Yeah.
add to this. There's two things. Okay. So, again, going back to the trailer, we're only seeing a scene. You know, there's no explanation. So, before jumping to conclusions, saying you're including a different colored race or whatever into a storyline that has no diversity, you know, maybe it's explained. But I think what Amazon should have done for the trailer is give you a sneak peek of what they're going to show us and then allow us to watch the series and have it slowly incorporated. Okay, maybe this is the reason why we're seeing a new race in an area where we never thought we would see it. But also, I do want to state a quote from the director. Uh, it's quote, "It's only natural that an adaptation of Tolkien's work would reflect what the world would actually look like," end quote. So, it doesn't really state that they're giving us exactly by the book. It's almost an adaptation of what the
But
world
but here
back then.
but here's the thing though,
Oh,
they're using characters from his books. You can't say it's an adaptation when you're actually using the direct characters. If you created a whole new story but used the Lord of the Rings as a jumping point, that's different. They're taking some of the actual story and changing it. To me, that's not right because you don't have the right to take someone's story and say, nope, we don't like this, we don't like that. We're going to cherry pick what we like and then put our version in there. That's that's you're disrespectful to the actual creator. Create your own stories then. Why are you
I
taking someone's story?
And I completely agree with what you're saying, but you know, we see this all the time in
And it
Hollywood
generally fails.
movies.
And it generally fails, right? It
But you
flops.
know, there's only so much we can like and dislike, and it's not like the only thing we can do is if they've changed so much that if you don't want to support it, don't watch it, because if it's not going to get the views, it's not going to be successful. You were able to use the power that you have to stand against what you love and believe in. um but
No,
when it
I
comes,
get that. Yeah, I get that.
it always comes down to, you know, all these books that get made into Hollywood movies. You know, there's so much change to it. I think the problem here with this trailer is they didn't they didn't do any justice for the trailer. You know, I feel like they did it as a way of creating controversy to get people talking. You know, I don't think Amazon did it the right way. You know, I'm just, you know, if you're going to spend this type of money, like how much was it? $10 billion?
No, no, not 10 billion. It was $1 billion for the entire season.
Okay, so they put in $1 billion. You know, if you change so much that it doesn't even reference anything, or you're not touching on what people love about these stories, you're going to fail. And it's going to be
Yeah.
such a waste of money. And you know, you have a contract for creating 5 seasons. Even if those seasons are 8 episodes long, all that money's gone to waste. Like it's just going to go downhill, the quality
But I
of
mean,
writings.
Amazon Amazon makes so much money. I don't think they even care if they lose $1 billion. They're just going to keep pumping it out and finding other ways to. I mean, they just increased everyone's Amazon Prime, right?
Yeah.
So what do they care? They don't care. They're like, oh, we'll lose $1 billion. Okay, whatever. They're making enough money that to them the issue is not even like, oh, don't support this, because if you don't like it, don't support it, don't watch it. That's not the issue. The issue is these are fans that were looking forward when they heard about this. Like, I heard about this a couple of years ago, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe this. This is awesome, because I love Lord of the Rings, and now we're gonna have a TV show that will, expand on that huge mythos. And I'm like, this is so cool.
Hmm.
And I saw the trailer myself too, and I was kind of like, okay, this looks cool. I love to see and explore this. I'm gonna give my honest opinion once I actually see the content. I'm not gonna judge it before I even see it. But I'm also looking at what other people are saying, and I hear them as well about their anger, because one of the stories that the lines that he had, it was, evil cannot create anything new. They can only corrupt and ruin what good forces have invented or made. That is his quote that he had about the Lord of the Rings when he created it, right? And
Hmm.
a lot of these, when you actually go to Amazon's YouTube page about the video, you see that quote all over in the comment section, because that's how many fans are upset about the direction this show went. The director and whoever they are, they're like, oh, I can't believe people are upset about inclusiveness and all this stuff. They're not even getting that. This is the problem that Hollywood's having, is this woke society. There, and I'm going to say it, and I don't care if anybody doesn't like me saying it. I'm just saying what people are thinking here. I'm just basically sending out that information. Do I agree or don't agree? That's debatable depending on the subject, right?
Yeah.
But I just look at what people are saying, and I look at his fan base, and I look at them and I'm like, I hear you, I get it. You're upset that there's changes made. Now, a lot of them are saying that they don't care if they have a black elf or a Chinese elf or whatever it is. They don't care. It has to make sense to them in their mind. It has to make sense in the way the story is written. Like, we have a black elf in here. I don't know if the trailer, we can put it up. Now, sorry, black dwarf as well, right? So we have a black elf and we have a black dwarf. The dwarf is not even accurate to the dwarf in the mythos of Tolkien. All dwarves, that's the elf. And I'm interested in seeing that elf and what the story is all about. That, but the black dwarf doesn't have a beard. All dwarves, even females, have beards, right? So they don't even give her a beard. They make her clean shaven and perfect, as to say that she's different and she doesn't have a beard. You're changing the lore. You're changing the character's core looks. Because why? Because you feel like it? It's a disrespect, I think, to the show. Yeah, there he is, right there. She has no beard. Why? Why does she not have a beard? She's a dwarf.
Maybe she's shaved.
Yeah, well, if they didn't have blades to shave, they only had blades to kill that era.
Now, here's the thing. I get what you're saying, but do you think this series could explore different parts
They're not. They're
of the
not.
Earth?
No,
No.
they've already said where they're located in the story. The story itself takes place very close to the Lord of the Rings story. Even the elf, the female lead in this show, she's not
Mhm.
a warrior in the books. So they made her a warrior. They gave her an armor and everything. To what? I don't understand. What's the point? In the mythos, she's actually a very powerful elf, but they made her into some warrior. It
Mm.
They changed the story. This is what's upsetting of these fans. It's like, why are you changing the story that we love? You want to have, different characters in here for what? Like, you're changing it. So this is a gamble on Amazon. They took a gamble here, and they're already getting a backlash from a lot of people. And
Mhm.
I'm going to be interested. Like, we're going to watch it. I'm definitely going to be watching it, and we're definitely probably going to review it on our, individual channel. Might not do it on the weekly because there's a lot going on during September. So
Yeah.
we might do it on, and I got some big news that we'll be dropping about the channel and how we're going to evolve and do more of these reviews. And that's coming up. It's going to be some fun stuff that we're going to roll out soon. But yeah, this is going to be, I mean, I'm excited to watch it and then give my honest opinion on it. Right.
Mhm.
Like I said, I'm going to reserve my judgment until I actually see it. And if it's not good, I'm gonna, like, me. I don't hold back. I'm not one of these people that are gonna, you know, sugarcoat anything and just to appease somebody. I'm gonna tell it like it is. If I don't like it, I don't like
Yeah,
it.
that's going to be that bonus 30 minutes after a regular podcast for you
Yeah,
to rant about.
but yeah, trailer looks very. A lot of people are saying a lot of CGI has been put into this trailer. Uh, we'll see. It was filmed in New Zealand again. The first trilogy was filmed in New Zealand. This TV show is filmed in New Zealand, and I actually got to visit the Shire. I actually visited the Shire, and I actually own the actual ring from the gift shop they had there. I bought it. Yeah, I actually own some
You
of the
got the ring to rule them all.
rule them all. Yeah, I'm gonna wear it when I watch it. I actually have the actual houses too from the Shire. I actually bought little miniature houses,
Of
but it's a
course you
beautiful
do.
place. If you haven't visited New Zealand and want to go check it out, honestly, I definitely implore anyone to go visit the Shire in New Zealand. It is so cool. It's so awesome. It transports you back into the Lord of the Rings world. It's just so peaceful and beautiful.
Oh, you were telling me about this visit. You actually went
Yeah,
up in your cosplay and you were like skipping around like you're one of the little
yeah.
elves.
Second
You're like,
breakfast.
and
Samways,
that,
where are you?
and that's when your wife was like, "What did I do?"
she actually enjoyed it. She thought it was pretty cool. She was with me there.
Oh yeah,
She was laughing at me because I was so nerdy about it, and she's
yeah.
like, "Okay, nerd." And then when she got there, she's like geeking out because we got to go to the bar, the actual bar where
Oh sweet.
Aragon met Frodo for the first time. We actually got to go to that bar, and they actually serve you alcohol there. So it was pretty cool. They
Always
had
a
alcohol,
bonus.
yeah, alcohol, or for the non-alcoholic people, it was ginger beer. So I had the ginger beer, which I love. Ginger beer is awesome, and yeah, it was good times. It was awesome.
Is that just ginger ale?
No, it's actually ginger beer. It's got its own distinct.
Oh,
I'll get you some. You can buy them at local stores here.
okay,
You,
cool.
you can try it out. You might like it. It's got a little bit of spice to it, so it's pretty cool. All right. Anything you want to add before we kind of sign off here? We've been here for a while. The two of us talked for so long, right? We held it.
Oh,
I think we held
I
it together
know.
pretty good today, right?
Yeah, we don't need
D-
D.
Yeah, don't
Uh,
need D. We don't even need Justin.
no, we need you, Justin. Um,
No, we don't.
funny little thing, because we just finished a few episodes ago talking about Hawkeye, and you know
Yeah,
how we were going off on about Echo getting
yeah.
her own show. So I just seen the update today for the new Marvel Future Fight update coming up, and it's the second part of the Phoenix, where Echo actually wins the tournament and gets the Phoenix Force. So she's going to be a new playable character in the game.
Oh, look
Which
at that.
I just thought it was funny because we were talking about her and her getting her own TV show, but now she's in a game. So obviously she might have something to offer in her own show. So yeah.
I think it's just going to be a Daredevil show. She's just going to be part of it. That's what I think it's going to be. It's
Uh,
Daredevil preview, and Echo's in there somewhere.
yeah, she's in the background. She's an
Yeah,
extra. No,
she's just an
but
Echo.
yeah. Oh,
Oh, I
boom,
know.
boom.
Hashtag dad
All right.
jokes.
And on that note, guys, thanks for coming. No.
All right. Okay. Well, we had a fun time doing this. I know me and Chris, we look forward to our weekly podcast. But yeah, if you're listening to us or watching us, you know, go ahead and subscribe to our channel and head out to our social media platforms at Astonishing ANR. Show us some love. Follow us. We'd love to hear from you guys. Leave us comments. We're always giving prizes away on our YouTube channel, so go check that out. Yes, monthly giveaways. Thank you, producer. Producer Justin is on the ball here. But yeah, monthly giveaways and all kinds of fun stuff. We got a cool uh, thing that's going to be rolling out in the summer. We're working on some cool things. But Chris is going to be working on some cool videos for us as always. But yeah, wherever you are on the world or the universe, have yourself a good morning, a good day, and a good night. Take care, people. Bye bye.
Good night.